All right, guys, let's get to your health check. Flavored e-cigarettes sold in stores may soon be a thing of the past. Flavors, of course, like bubblegum and all that stuff. That's what makes them so popular among teens. Well, federal regulators are expected to announce a ban on flavors other than tobacco and menthol within the next few days. Another possible exemption could be products sold in vape stores. However, the American Academy of Pediatrics says, look, teens would find a way to buy them there. There have been more than 1,800 recent cases of vaping-related injuries, lung injuries, I should say, across the country, resulting in at least 37 deaths. Well, being an only child can have its perks, right? I wouldn't know. This is not one of them, though. A new study suggests they have a higher risk of obesity. Yeah, researchers at LSU found only children tend to have less healthy eating habits than those with brothers and sisters, and one reason might be better meal planning for bigger families. We are asking you this morning, what do you do before you go to sleep? Here are some healthy suggestions. Greg, stop laughing already. First, shut off your phone, your tablets, your laptops. Leave them, I would say, in another room, okay? Sleep experts say if you want to get rest, blue light is your enemy. Try one of those alternative lamps, like I have a Himalayan salt lamp in my room. Same with the TV, you guys. Look, the bed is a place to sleep, not to lay in bed and watch your favorite programs all night long or Netflix. Also, pets should sleep in their own beds. Sorry, Kara.
No.
No food in bed, Mark. I'm just going down the line here,
know.
man. So that is all messy. Late night eating can lead to indigestion. Plus, put away the clutter. It really does keep you from a restful sleep. So there you go. All very practical.
You're right, though.
Stuff.
She's right. The dog is always moving and she's always in my way, and it would be so much better if she slept in her bed.
I get it, but do you keep your phone in another room, really?
I don't keep it in another room because I would not wake up otherwise.
Yeah.
But I do not keep it. You know, people sleep in their beds with their phones. No, I don't do that. It's away from me, but yeah, I gotta keep it in the same room because y'all would not see me.
All right, good stuff. Thank you, Sonia.